Welcome back to Dive into K-Wave. Wait, I don't know what to do. Welcome back to Dive into K-Wave. My name's Alyssa.
I'm Maureen.
Adios.
I'm Wincy.
And we're here to give you a tour of all of the Likey locations from TWICE's music video. Whether you've lived in Vancouver your whole life and you're a once, you go to UBC and you want to see the city and explore the touristy places, or you're visiting for the concert, we put together this guide so you know all the spots to visit while you're in Vancouver. Located between Hastings and Pender Street is Alley Oop, as it's known. It's basically this alley in the middle of downtown Vancouver that is painted in a bunch of bright colors. It was really popular back when I was in high school to take Instagram photos there with the basketball courts. TWICE obviously saw it and decided we need to film a music video there. But nowadays, unfortunately, it just isn't as well maintained. A lot of the paint is fading. You'll see dumpsters in the alley as we did when we were filming. There's always a bit of an odor to it, and even though it still feels special every time I walk by it, it's not what it was back when TWICE filmed their music video. However, if you are a once, you definitely need to visit. We finished up at the alley. It's gotten a bit sketchier over the time, and be careful of course of like all the vehicles going through. The next spot we're gonna go to is Gastown. It's super touristy, so if you're visiting Vancouver, you're likely going there anyways, but they did film a few scenes over there and we'll show you where that's at. We made it to Gastown. Now imagine it's night and this is where the scene at the bridge takes place with the famous steam clock in the background. If you come to Vancouver, you're probably going to Gastown and you're probably going to see the steam clock. If you look up the most touristy places in Vancouver, Gastown is definitely up there. You can easily access it from Waterfront Station, which connects to both the Canada line and the Expo line. There's lots of good restaurants and local boutiques in Gastown. And a fun fact about it is this clock, even though everyone takes photos of it, it was actually built in the 70s and it's not as historic as the rest of the neighborhood. There are multiple locations in the music video filmed in Gastown, so we will be in this area for a little bit longer. So the steam clock is down there. If you walk towards Cordova, then you'll see the second alley. This is an active alleyway used by many restaurants and food places in the neighborhood, so definitely be careful of cars when walking through. We also saw a bunch of birds. It's still an alley, so definitely be careful when visiting, especially at night, but it is where a lot of the dance sequences in the video were filmed, including Momo's iconic dance break.
You can do it. Let's go.
Just fake it till you make it.
Yeah, like you guys know.
Wait, let's watch it.
Let's watch it first.
The shot from the intro is at Cambie and Cordova. This bridge, parking bridge next to the iconic Woolworths building, is also here on Cordova Street. We have made it to Carroll Street, I don't know how to say it, and then Cordova. This path right here towards the water is where Nayeon skateboards. Unfortunately, we're filming on a Saturday and it looks like there are some protective barriers up, but this is the boutique Nayeon stares at right at Powell and Carroll Street. The last spot we're hitting up in Gastown is right opposite the clothing store I just showed you, and it is this building right here, pretty iconic. It's a very narrow triangle building, and this is where one of the OT9 dance scenes was filmed. This plaza is called Maple Tree Square, and it is where they filmed the dance sequences in the last chorus of the music video, right in the heart of Gastown. So we've hit up all of these spots in Gastown. Now we're just walking back to the station so we can take you to the Skytrain. Since we were coming from Gastown, the easiest place to catch an Expo line train would be from Waterfront Station. We have 3 different Skytrain lines in Vancouver, but the one you want to recreate the music video is going to be the Expo line, and you want to wait for one of the Mark 1 cars with the red interior. So we boarded an empty Mark 1 Skytrain. This isn't number 153 from the video, but basically if you want to recreate the rap, you gotta go to an older Skytrain car. Yeah. Update, we switched to an even older car, so there's more red detailing. And it has the full slide. The other fun thing about the Expo line is it goes right past Rogers Arena, which is where TWICE is performing. For our tour, we decided to get off at Main Street Science World Station, which gives us a really great view of the Skytrains. I filmed a few of the older cars in hopes of spotting 153. We didn't see it while filming, but I ended up seeing it a few weeks later. We are here to take the 23 bus, which will take us to our next stop on the tour. We just got off the bus at Sunset Beach, and there's a bunch of geese here, just like in the video. So we made it to the next location, which is Sunset Beach. This is the roller skating court where they do a lot of goofing off in the video. We have the Burrard Bridge behind us here. But of course you've got a beach, you can see a bunch of geese like there are in the video, and it's right along the seawall, which is where we'll be walking. To get to our next location, we continued walking on the seawall towards English Bay, and I cannot tell you how many birds and geese we saw on this 20-minute walk alone. There were so many. I have so much geese footage from this outing, guys. The beach is also obviously a very nice place to come to look at the water. It's touristy, but definitely more touristy in the summer. And as we walk towards English Bay, which is a bit more touristy than Sunset Beach, that's where a bunch of other idols have been, such as 17, P1 Harmony, etc. We've walked along the seawall. Here are the Laughing Man, a very iconic statue in Vancouver. We're at the intersection of Davie and Denman, lots of commercial restaurants around here, and we've hit the English Bay portion of the beach. Same beach, same tankers, but more grassy areas that they filmed on. We found the bench from the music video. As you can see, the text behind, and then they did some shots on the hill around here. And then of course, you can hang out at the bench looking at the city and the water. Guys, what does it feel like sitting where Mina sat?
Let's go.
So iconic.
We are so back.
Sacred.
If you're trying to follow our route, this is where we paused for lunch, as there is lots of food around Davie Street and Denman Street. Then we made our way to Stanley Park, which is a huge park. The part we needed to go to was quite out of the way, so you could walk, but it would take around 30 minutes. That's what we ended up doing, but I would also recommend possibly getting an Uber. But once again, if you're visiting Vancouver, you are likely going to Stanley Park anyways, so you can add this spot into your list of places you're going to visit. We are now at Stanley Park, one of the other most touristy places in Vancouver. We're just on a trail now, making our way to the last spot in downtown Vancouver that's featured in the music video. This one is a bit of a walk from all of the other places we've shown you so far, so be prepared for that. But once again, if you are coming to Vancouver, you likely are visiting Stanley Park anyway, so you might as well stop at this location. This is Hallelujah Point. This part of Stanley Park is called Hallelujah Point, and it is where Chewie films her solo part, as well as another group dance scene is filmed. There's currently some marathon going on for the holidays on the seawall, so it's a little bit difficult for us to film all the shots. However, you can see the city in the background, the iconic floating gas station. Yes, Vancouver has a floating gas station. It's also just a nice place to come and get a really nice view of the city. It's called Hallelujah Point. We think this is the bench they danced in front of based on the music video. The trees that look like this, benches on either side. And we're gonna try and recreate some other stuff that doesn't involve the seawall right now, because as you can see, there is a long line of marathoners. This is where she skated. If you are visiting Vancouver, a really popular activity is to rent a bike or a scooter and just go around the seawall. It goes around the entire city and it hits up a bunch of the touristy spots like Stanley Park where we are now and English Bay where we were earlier. You can see the convention center down there, the lookout, which is really close to the alley we were at earlier, and the whole skyline. So those are all of the places from the music video in the downtown Vancouver area that we wanted to show you. Thank you to our cast and call participants for coming along with us, and I will see you in about a week to show you the rest of the locations.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Hi, it is just over a week later and we are back to show you the rest of the locations from the video, the ones that are not in Vancouver. So we are in Steveston right now. It's part of Richmond. It's right on the water. It can be a little bit touristy during the summer when there's nice weather. And a lot of people also come here because the ABC show Once Upon a Time was filmed here several years ago. So a lot of people would come to Steveston just to see those locations. We are here for the Likey locations, and with me I have Nancy.
Hello, I'm Nancy.
Who is your bias in TWICE?
My bias is Sui.
So this is an empty lot, and there were no empty lots in the video. This used to be the location of Super Grocer, which is where they filmed the scene where they all sat by the car and Nayeon dabbed during her rap. Unfortunately, this building did burn down in 2024 in a fire, so they have relocated the business, but where it used to sit is currently an empty lot. I was able to go here a few times while the building was still intact, so I can insert this really cringy photo of myself recreating it years and years ago. You can still technically visit the lot, as well as the other locations in Steveston we're going to show you, but please support the business however you can. It is moved just a few blocks over. Now we're gonna keep walking along Moncton Street in Steveston, and that's where Jihyo filmed her little vlogging scenes in the first verse. So we are at the next spot, just further down from the grocery store. This is Moncton Street, where we are at right now, where Jihyo just skips around vlogging throughout several locations. This building is in the background, and we'll just show you what the street looks like. So, as a Richmond resident, what do you recommend people do in Steveston when they're visiting?
My go-to place in Steveston would be Gary Point Park because it's a very pretty park, especially during the spring season because the cherry blossoms bloom, and it's a very popular tourist place for Richmonders to go watch the cherry blossoms. And it's also a very popular place for a lot of Richmond residents to watch the sunset as well because there's a beach down by Gary Point Park and it's very pretty around the sunset area. And then there's also a long dike that a lot of residents can bike.
We're at the next place, Marine Garage, very famous, out of commission gas station. Once Upon a Time was also filmed here. Once again, still on Moncton Street. Lots of super cute small businesses as well that I definitely recommend walking around checking out. Straight west of here is the Gulf of Georgia Cannery. It is now a museum where you can learn about the canning industry. Once Upon a Time was also filmed there. And just beyond that is Gary Point Park, which Nancy recommended earlier. That's everything for Steveston, so we're gonna go to the last location and take you guys with us. Listening to Likey and driving past where Jihyo vlogged. The only appropriate thing to do here. We have made it to White Rock. We are here to show you the last two locations. You can see it's beautiful. We're waiting for it to be night so we can film the pier at night. But just along the waterfront, there's lots of restaurants, cafes, lots of ice cream places. We're here in winter, so it's a little bit too chilly for that. But we're gonna try and show you the ice cream shop. We're at the ice cream place, which is called the Ocean Rock Cafe. I've tried to come to this place for years because it's the last location I personally need to visit. Every time I come, it's closed. Google says it's open. It's never open. So we'll try and show you what we can from the outside. If anyone has gone recently, let me know. I think their most recent posts are like 2023. There were some reviews on Google from last year. So I don't know if it's like they're only open during the summer, but I swear I've been during the summer. But we'll try and show you what we can. But if you're on White Rock to visit the pier, you can still at least see the building. And I know there's some BTS content that they filmed just on these steps over here. There is this little piece of art in the window that I feel like it's supposed to be TWICE. Not 100% sure. You can't really see much. You can see there is the pink wall there, and then I know there's the booths on the other side. There's no hours posted or anything, so I've been trying to visit forever. If anyone has any updates, that would be super cool. I can't tell if it's like out of business, not out of business. But once again, if you're really craving ice cream, there's spots just further down the block for that. Since we can't get ice cream from the cafe and it's freezing anyways, we're just gonna get some waffles next door while we wait for it to get dark. I also didn't realize this at the time, but in the behind the scenes footage of the music video, you can actually see the place where we got the waffles in the background. I don't know if TWICE also ate there, but it's still TWICE core, right? Near the pier, there is an active railroad, so occasionally you can see trains going by just like this one I saw while I was eating my waffle, or the one in the music video. Fun fact, if you ever take the train to Seattle, which is how I saw TWICE in 2023, it went right over these tracks. The sun's starting to set. It's very pretty. Here are the railroad tracks we saw earlier. And then down past the pier, that is USA right there. You can even see the border lights. The area around the pier was all decorated for Christmas when we went, and I found the ho 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 very ironic because of TWICE's song. Here is the pier. Here are the railroad tracks. It does say Canada's longest pier, which is super cool. In 2018, due to heavy winds, a lot of the pier ended up being destroyed. It ended up being rebuilt, and today you can walk all the way to the end of the pier, which is very fun, but it takes longer than you think it will. And in the music video, the sign here is edited to say Heart Shaker, I believe, or Twiceagram. I need to double check. There is a little beach next door. It is quite a rocky beach, but people do still come here during the summer, but the pier is definitely the main attraction. Just as we're leaving, they turned on the lights, so it's even more like the music video. I definitely recommend coming here towards sunset or even the evening because A, that is when the pier scene in the music video takes place, but also we saw the most gorgeous sunset this evening and ended up just taking a bunch of beautiful sunset photos. The pier ended up lighting up like in the video, and it was just such a beautiful place to spend a nice winter evening. So those are all the places we're going to show you today. Of course, you can stay here till it gets fully dark and get the true pier experience. The lights are really, really beautiful over here. And because the border's so close, if you are coming to Vancouver from Seattle or Washington, White Rock is likely on your way to Vancouver anyway, so you might as well stop by. If you're coming from downtown, it's a bit more out of the way, but if you want to go somewhere like touristy, but not as touristy as the downtown spots, definitely come check it out over here. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful if you're visiting Vancouver anytime soon or you're a local and you just want to check out some cool new places. Subscribe to our channel for more videos about K-pop and Korean pop culture in Vancouver, and we'll see you next time with a new video. Bye!